After years of waiting, it's finally Pikmin season once again. After all the years of silence and Hey Pikmin and Pikmin Bloom teasing us, we're finally close to the finish line. So because this is such a momentous and important time in history, I would like to take some time to relish in the moment and do what everybody who talks about Pikmin is fated to do eventually. Rank every Pikmin type. I just want to say though, that this is a very hard list for me to make. These guys are like sons to me. You can't just expect me to pick a favorite like that.
You see my beautiful angel son, Steve! I love him so much, this is my only son!
But alas, I have done what needed to be done. This one's for you, Louie. And as far as criteria goes, I'm just looking at how useful they are to have in the squad, as well as how much I like their designs and overall vibe. So, in last place, we have Rock Pikmin. Now, I still like Rock Pikmin a lot, and it's fun to just chuck at the enemies. Also, its design is super sleek and cool. Plus, being immune to getting crushed is a nice plus, but I feel like they have a few glaring weaknesses when compared to the other guys. The first one is that they can't latch on enemies, and instead just have high impact damage when thrown. This makes it so that in battle you constantly have to whistle them back and throw them again. And you'll also probably end up whistling the other Pikmin that were already latched on. It's just a hassle. Also, their charge attack is pretty much non-existent. But on the bright side, they're good for throwing at people's windows, so you still get a passing grade. Next up on the chopping block is Blue Pikmin. These little guys have the unique ability to breathe underwater, making a good chunk of the map their territory. Sorry little guy, but only blue is allowed in the swimming pool. Get out of my sight. Being able to grab treasures in the water does certainly give these guys usefulness, seeing as how they would be inaccessible otherwise. However, outside of the water, they're kinda just okay. If you're in a map that has little to no water, then you're not really gonna use these guys over Reds, who deal much more damage, or Wings, who could get things back to base faster. They have their niche, but once I start my PNF 404 swimming class, their asses are out on the streets. So with Red Pikmin, we enter the part of the list where every unit has a purpose and is good to have around in the squad at all times. So what makes Reds good is that they're always a good choice for fighting enemies, as they're stronger than most other Pikmin, and are immune to fire. While they may not have as much uses as the other dudes higher up on the list, they're still solid all around. These are the guys that you always start the game with and get to see your little army of Reds go from 1 to 100 in the first day. Also, they have a funny nose, and the color red is cool. And after them is Yellow Pikmin. So their usefulness varies between game to game, but in general, they can be thrown higher, which helps with some treasures and bosses, and are immune to electricity. In the second game, that is massive, seeing as how even getting a Fate with it would send that little Pikmin to the second dimension. But then in 3, electricity got nerfed hard, so while they're still required for gates and light bulbs, they're not as vital before. Also in 1, they were the only ones who could hold bomb rocks, making these guys the de facto terrorists of the squad. Overall, these guys are always good to have around and have a lot of uses outside of battle. Also, they have ears, meaning they're the only Pikmin who can actually hear what you're saying. So next time you decide to throw them at a raging bull bear, remember to say good luck to them. And the bronze medal goes to White Pikmin. What makes White Pikmin so good is their speed. They are the fastest and therefore the best at delivering treasure back to the ship. Plus they are immune to poison and could even turn into a martyr and damage the enemy upon getting eaten. In Pikmin 2, they are also essential for getting a good chunk of the treasure buried underground, as only they can sense them and dig them up. And just look at them! Look at those little eyes! How can you not want to buy White Pikmin plush after looking at him for more than 2 seconds? Although I will admit that in 3, his usefulness is very limited, as there's no poison obstacles or buried treasure, so the only thing it has going for it is its speed. He's still cool though, and the runner-up is, of course, the Purple Pikmin. Just look at this dude, he's a chonker. This guy drank one too many Grimace shakes. All jokes aside though, this guy is a one-man army in the second game, being able to lift 10 times the amount of an average Pikmin, having 2 times damage, and being able to stun foes on impact, which just freezes enemies in place, as they're forced to just stand there and take the beating. The only thing bad about them is that they're slow and can only be found in dungeons, but that is a small price to pay for the power of the man who even Grimace fears. Until Pikmin 3, where he got nerfed at the ground attack-wise. However, because all the items in 3 require a lot less weight, you usually only need like 1 or 2 perks to carry anything. He might not have been in the story mode, but his legacy still lives on. And the one Pikmin type that stands above all others is Bulbin, baby! Oh yeah, Bulbin yes, all sir. Day, yes sir. Shadow Bulbin, half bulb, half love. Gotta love that Bulbin. Wait a minute. You're not a Pikmin! Get 'em, boys! Whew! Anyways, first place goes to winged Pikmin. You know what's better than having to find a path for your Pikmin to take to make sure there's no water or any other obstacle in the way that could stop them? Just flying over them. These guys are the Amazon delivery drones of the Pikmin universe. While technically their flight speed is lower than the average walking speed, they get the advantage of not having to follow the same path as them, ultimately arriving at their base way faster in most cases. Also, while their attack power may be somewhat weak, they're able to charge at anything with ease and make any flying enemy look like a complete joke. They're also precious. Look at those little aviator goggles their eyes he's got. Aside from rocks, I'd argue that these little dudes are the most visually distinct from the others. Also, with Smash, for all Mars especially gets carried by winged Pikmin, which is awesome. And that's every Pikmin so far. From what we've seen from Pikmin 4, they've added 2 new types. Ice Pikmin and Glow Pikmin. Also just saying, I called the Ice Pikmin a video a while back, so that's pretty cool. Now I can't say I know where I'd place them because I have yet to play the full game, but I can say that from the demo, the ice goobers seem to be pretty gosh darn good. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to go back in my hibernation chamber until Pikmin 4 releases, so see ya!